From the Kozlowski Gymnasium here on the campus of Arlington High School, ACMi Sports presents Arlington High School Boys Varsity Basketball. Tonight, the Spy Ponders of Arlington High School host the Bengals of Brighton High School. Hello everyone, I'm Don Phelan. My partner is Scott Zwick. Alex Van Thong is our producer. Stars is our director. Zach Garrigus and Felix Ansel on camera. And this is the MIAA Division II North quarterfinal matchup between the champions of the Middlesex League, your Arlington Spy Ponders, and the champions regular season of the Boston City League, the Bengals of Brighton High School. And Scott, this is gonna be a great one.
This is a huge game, Don. This is what it's all about. 4 months of preparation and training comes down to one game. Win and advance, lose, and the season ends. It's the thrill of victory and the agony of defeat. Number 2 Arlington ended the season with being defeated 4 straight times, but got back on track in the opening round with a 64-54 win over Gloucester, and welcome back Mr. Fix-It, Don Black, with 14 points, 12 rebounds, 5 assists, 4 blocks, and 3 steals. They will look to push pace and play aggressive perimeter defense to keep the defending champ Bengals off balance.
And for Arlington, Scott, a repeat of last year where they had to face the defending Division II champion New Mission team here at home in the second round game, and now they face the defending Division II state champions Bengals in the second round game this year. And talk about the Bengals of Brighton High School, Scott. They won the City League regular season. They beat Division I North number 1 overall seed Everett during the regular season. And this is a really good team. Of course, not the same team, and of course, this is the team that beat Arlington last year in the semifinal Division II North game. But of course, some of those players have gone on to graduation, but still a really tough Brighton team here tonight.
Very tough. Don, it's kind of like deja vu all over again. This game is very similar to the New Mission game last year. Then they went on, took a tough defeat to Brighton, so it's a step-level game for the Spy Ponders. The Bengals will rely on a starting 5 of all seniors, led by 6'5", number 15, Gerard Clark. Clark is a beast inside and is capable of single-handedly dragging his team across the finish line. This is easily the most anticipated home playoff game during the Woods and Bowler era, and I expect a dogfight, with the team executing with poise and conviction late and close to come out the victor.
And I've talked to some folks, as you have too, Scott. People have seen both teams. Expect a really good game here tonight. And basically, when you talk about Clark, as you just mentioned a few moments ago, basically he's a football player. He's going to play Division I football as a tight end at Coastal Carolina, but he's a football player with basketball skills, and that's the difference that you see in a high school basketball player like him.
It's a football player with basketball skills, which means he can be a little bit erratic at times. Sometimes he's a little bit clumsy with his hands, with his feet. As you mentioned, he's not a basketball player first, but what he is a competitor. He has a giant heart. And when he decides that he wants to impact the basketball game, he usually isn't stopped. The problem is with him has been his consistency, as I mentioned. He doesn't always come out with that fire and passion. So we'll see which Gerard Clark comes out tonight, the one that's a little bit clumsy and maybe passive, or the one that's aggressive trying to win a basketball game.
And it's going to really be up to, I would imagine, James Gascoigne and Ben Wasco to really give him a battle here tonight, and they're going to probably be the keys defensively for Arlington.
James Gascoigne has been a beast for the Spy Ponders all year long, inside, off the boards, deflecting balls. He's been solid. Ben Wasco, a senior, captain, knows what to do in big situations and big games. Those two will have their hands full with both Quincy Taylor and Gerard Clark inside. But I'll tell you something, Don. If it gets to be a little bit of late and close where they're really struggling to handle Clark inside, I wouldn't be surprised at all if Mr. Fix-It, Don Black, was given that task.
Scott, let's talk about the defensive strategies for both teams. Both teams like to press. Arlington's done it all year, deflections. We've noticed it all season long, and I know that Brighton does the same.
Brighton likes to push pace. They like to early offense, pressure defense. They've run a 3-2 defense. They've run traps, full court traps. They've run full court man, half court man. Their defense, though, is a little less disciplined than Arlington. Arlington's a little bit more disciplined, a little bit more fundamentally sound. Spy Ponders should have a little bit of an edge on defense as they give up 48 points a game, whereas Brighton gives up 57. Of course, Brighton scores 69 points a game, and Arlington 61.
One of the strategies for Brighton and a key for Arlington breaking Brighton's press is going to be the second player with the ball for the Spy Ponders. Brighton looks to trap that first player, try to anticipate the next pass. So if Bensley Joseph is doing the majority of the ball handling, at some point he's going to be double teamed and trapped, and it's really going to probably be up to Nick Corrales and, as you mentioned, Don Black to be that secondary ball handler to really beat the Brighton press. And if Arlington can beat the Brighton press, and I know as you as a coach back in the day, you know, I coached a little bit too, and I liked when teams pressed me if I had the talent, because if you do things right, it should lead to an easy basket. If you do things wrong, it's going to be a long night the other way.
In theory, a team pressing the Spy Ponders with their experience and their skill level should be a massive advantage for them. And I look for them to take advantage of it, finish strong at the cup.
Very experienced Brighton team, as Scott mentioned earlier. 5 seniors in their starting lineup. Spy Ponders, you know, they still have a couple seniors here that are playing their final home game, win or lose, because the next game will be at a neutral site. But you also have a lot of key younger players for Arlington. So you're going to have an experienced Brighton team, and then, you know, even though Arlington has some younger players, they do have tournament experience, but you got to give the experience edge to Brighton as the defending state champions with 5 seniors in the starting lineup.
You have to give them the edge. For the Spy Ponders, the edge that they're going to get, especially in experiences recently when they played in that prestigious Comcast tournament, that really got them ready for this tournament.
Here are our starting lineups for tonight's games. First, for the visiting Bengals of Brighton High School, number 3, LaQ Howard, number 5, Angelo Lee, co-captain, number 12, Quincy Taylor, Jared Clark is number 15. He's the gentleman that we alluded to at the beginning of the telecast. And then the 5th member of the starting lineup for the Bengals is senior Johnny Ortiz. He is also one of Brighton's captains. Head coach of the Bengals in his 9th season is Hugh Coleman. And now we'll have the starting lineup for the Spy Ponders. Pretty much the same starting 5 that we've seen for the majority of the season for the Spy Ponders. Number 30, sophomore Bensley Joseph. At guard, number 0, junior Nick Corrales. Starting at forward, junior tri-captain, number 14, James Gascoigne. At the other forward, senior tri-captain, that's for number 23, Ben Wasco, senior tri-captain. And rounding out the starting lineup for the Spy Pond, the senior tri-captain, number 20, Scotsman Dom Black. Head coach of the Spy Pond is in his 10th season is John Bowler. He's assisted by Jackie Woods, Tyler Sullivan, Kevin Lentini, Zach Lee, and the head of basketball operations for the Spy Ponders is Tim Schuler. And now we will have the singing of our national anthem.
Bright stripes and bright stars through the perilous
play some football. You know, Don, you were
Football?
talking.
You want to play football tonight?
Well, Quincy Taylor on my Clark, sorry.
He's got your football on your mind. Yeah.
It's funny, I have football on my mind. It's just a tough atmosphere in here. But when we talk about experience, the one thing the Spy Ponders have in Don Black, any time this year they have faced true danger, or any time they faced a situation where they might be able to, they could possibly lose the contest, he's come through, and I expect that tonight.
Yeah, Don Black missed the last couple games of the regular season with what I believe was a foot injury, but he came back and had a very good game the other night when Arlington won to move on to this round. The winner of this game, by the way, plays the winner of the Marblehead North Andover game. That game is actually being played tomorrow night, so wouldn't be surprised if you see a lot of North Andover and Marblehead people here tonight scouting this game, and then it'll be flipped around tomorrow night when the winner of this game will be able to go and scout that game. So kind of a fair matchup there. The tip is controlled by the Spy Ponders, Bensley Joseph, and it looks like man-to-man straight defense for the Bengals of Brighton High School.
Bengals have had trouble covering off-the-ball defense.
Don Black on the drive.
Well.
Great decision there to dump it to Wasco. Wasco will be called for traveling.
So right when I say they don't play too aggressive off the ball, they get a little help there. It gets Wasco's feet moving a little too fast, and a quick early turnover. Spy Ponders pick up full court.
So the Bengals with the word family written across the backs of their jerseys, all players wearing the same jerseys. Never seen that before in game uniforms. Now the high lob is tipped in rather nicely. A great pass there. It's hard to read the Bengal numbers here. Bensley might have got away with the travel there, but it was Quincy Taylor with the first basket of the game.
Taylor goes up high and comes down hard with an alley-oop to start.
Joseph for three. Looks good. It is.
Bing, bang, boom. Joseph from way downtown pure, and he claps his hands in exuberance.
And you know, Scott, even though it's only the first minute of the game, you know, for Brighton to get such an electrifying first basket on an alley-oop tip-in, and for Bensley to answer with the immediate three, huge basket early on for the Ponders. Black got in trouble there. Gascoigne strong to the hole, lays it in.
Gascoigne finishes up the mess left by Black, and the Spy Ponders, Don, you're right, answer that electrifying opening bucket by the Bengals.
5-2 Spy Ponders just underway here at the Kozlowski Gymnasium. Played about a minute and a half. Here's the big fella, Clark. Three-point shot is short. Great box up by Bensley Joseph. The ball goes out of bounds as Johnny Ortiz went down and hit the deck after the shot.
Ortiz was 1 of 6 from the floor in the opening round win they had over Burlington, and continues to struggle. He should have his hands full with Bensley Joseph tonight.
Crosses him over, misses the bank shot off the window, and here comes Brighton back the other way. Q Howard, number 3, with the ball right now for the Bengals.
Q Howard had a dynamite game beating the Everett Titans earlier in the year, giving them their only loss.
Clark steps out for the 3, missed it, and high for the rebound was Bensley Joseph out battling Quincy Taylor. He goes to the basket with the finger roll, no. Wasco count the basket, and Ben Wasco will go to the line with a chance for a 3-point play.
Wasco kept the ball up high. He didn't bring it down. He finished through the hoop and the arm, and the Spy Ponders are giving a muscle flex early to the Bengals.
Great start for Arlington. They lead at 7-2. 5:43 remaining first quarter. Ben Wasco at the line to try to complete the 3-point play. And he does just that. So 8-2 Arlington. Great start for Arlington here at the Kozlowski Gymnasium. Now Arlington switches it up a little bit here. They went straight man-to-man press before. Looked like they went for a little bit of a trap there. Now Gascoigne is going to go for the trap. Brighton able to get it over the timeline.
They're trying to keep the ball out of Q Howard's hands by trapping him before he gets over half court.
Clock on the double team, had it stripped away. Now the ball's fought for, and it'll be a held ball. And that's a great thing for Arlington because there's only 8 seconds remaining on the shot clock. It will remain Brighton ball, but they're only going to have 8 seconds to shoot.
Brighton is struggling to get into their offense. Like Hugh Howard hasn't been able to matriculate the ball deep enough. They had this spectacular opening play. Other than that, it's been very much of a struggle. Spy Ponders are electrified early.
Quick discussion by the officials to see if Arlington actually ever possessed that ball before the held ball. And just a beautiful three-point shot by Hugh Howard. And that's a backbreaker right there.
Hugh Howard is one of the best three-point shooters in the state. And when he gets hot, sometimes he can score 10, 20, even 25 points and a half.
And that was a big possession as Arlington had a short shot clock for Brighton, but Brighton able to hit the three. Gascoigne, Nick Corrales fakes, baseline drive, up and under, and the ball is kicked by Brighton. That will result in a shot clock reset for Arlington. They will inbound the ball on the baseline.
So far, the Spy Ponders are doing a phenomenal job off the offensive glass. Taylor hasn't had any impact on this game so far, and that's good news for the Spy Ponders. But they've really got to make sure they keep Hugh Howard in check.
They inbounded that ball into the backcourt with only 8 seconds on the shot clock and still ended up with a three-point basket. Now shot is blocked by Clark. Here comes Hugh the other way. Hugh's going to pull up three. No. Ball's tipped. Hugh Howard comes up with it. Down they go down low. Great defense by the Ponders. I think Don Black may have got a finger on that. Here comes Don Black the other way to the basket. Pushes it to the left hand and lays it in.
Don Black, coast to coast, finishes it with the left hand after making an electrifying defensive play. And this crowd is absolutely percolating.
And I think Dom kind of lost control of it, Scott, as he went up for it. I think there 2 or 3 Bengal players collided on him, and he switched it to the left hand. That was a Bensley Joseph basket is what that was. Now, good defense by Bensley. Cuts off the baseline. That foul was committed by Bensley Joseph. That is his first. They have it up on the scoreboard as his third, but I think that's obviously just his first. And now Clark, with a nifty move for the big guy, lays it in.
Good. Big man, left hand, finishing at the cup, nasty.
Halfway through the first quarter, Ponders by 3. Bensley Joseph commits an offensive foul, and that's huge, Scott, because that is now his second foul, and that's going to cause Coach Bowler to go to the bench, and he's going to bring in the freshman, Brendan McNamara, to spell Bensley Joseph, at least for a little while here with the 2 fouls.
These are going to be big minutes for McNamara. The Spy Ponders will monitor the score. As long as they stay ahead or relatively close, expect him to stay on the bench.
Arlington's going to have to play some time without their all-league performer, Bensley Joseph. Missed shot there by Brighton, but knocked out of bounds by Arlington. It will remain Brighton ball.
Quincy Taylor off the glass there. The Bengals are showing a lot of fight now with their bigs.
Clark's going to take a little pull-up shot. No. Don Black fighting for the rebound, and they're going to get the Brighton player on the rebounding foul. I think that's Quincy Taylor. Again, it's tough to see their numbers. Or is that number 5?
5.
So that's going to be on Angelo Lee, his first, second on the team.
So it'll be Nick Corrales bringing up the ball now, and the Spy Ponders will look to move the ball side to side.
Gascoigne for 3. Oh, back rim, no. He follows his own shot. Don Black, top of the circle for 3. He's got it.
Don Black again from way downtown. He is feeling this coming up big because big players make big plays in big games.
Now Brighton gets it over the timeline. Arlington settles into their man-to-man defense. It's Gascoigne on Clark. Clark's going to go all the way to the window, lays it up and in, this time with the right hand.
Clark is an absolute beast. 2 giant steps, finishes through contact. Right now it's Clark and Black going mano a mano.
Oh, what a pass by Don Black to Ben Wasco, who lays it up and in.
Black with a little dipsy-do underoo, and finishing at the cup is Ben Wasco.
3-point shot by Ortiz around the rim and in. Johnny Ortiz with his first basket of the night, a 3-pointer, and it's 15-12 Ponders, 2.5 minutes. Brendan McNamara for 3. He's got it! Big, big basket for the freshman off the bench, and that should get his confidence going early on, Scott. A huge basket for him.
Back and forth action we go. Electric atmosphere here at the Taj as the Spy Ponders tie him up. It's 3-pointers back to back, and great to see the freshman McNamara getting into the action early.
held ball call. I was kind of hoping they were going to get Clark for it around the back foul, but they went with the held ball. Possession arrow favoring Arlington. So the next one, of course, will go to Brighton. Both teams with 2 team fouls coming up on the 2-minute mark in the first quarter, and the Ponders lead it by 6. McNamara's open in the corner. They try to get it to him. They do get it to him. He's going to take another 3 from the corner and make another 3 from the corner.
McNamara says, my brother was huge in this game last year, so I'm going to do it again this year. The brother connection back-to-back years.
Double team here by the Ponders causes a steal. Ben Wasco in the open floor. Here comes Clark to close. Clark blocks it from behind. Corrales retrieves it for the Ponders. And Don Black has it stripped away. And going up, and blocked by Gascon! I was just ready to concede the easy lay-in for Brighton, but no sir, as it's Messiah Merchant who came in off the Brighton bench. Brighton really doesn't go to the bench very often, but a great defensive play by Gascoigne.
Clark with an electrifying block on one end, and Gascoigne matches on the other end.
Clark throws it up, no. Rebound fought for, it comes to Brighton. Nice bounce pass inside. Clark can't handle it, and the Ponders can come the other way. Minute 21 remaining first quarter, Arlington by 8. McNamara had a notion, made the right decision there. Up top to Wasco.
Good ball movement.
Man-to-man defense. Alice with the tricky dribble. Gascoigne gets it to Nick. 12 on the shot clock, plenty of time still. Here's James, baseline drive, up, strong, no, fights for his own rebound. Can't get the tip in to go, and we're in the final minute of the first quarter. Ponders by 8.
And right now, Taylor's exhausted. He's absolutely exhausted. He didn't even get up to half court at that point. 53 seconds left in the first quarter, but they have no one to go to the bench to.
A little poor sportsmanship. That's what you're seeing from the crowd reaction by LaQ Howard. He got called for a carrying violation, which you very rarely see. And then in the ensuing action, there was a collision between him and Wasco. Wasco went to help him up, and LaQ Howard wanted no part of that. And that got the Arlington student body section up.
Spy Ponders look to go side to side, work the basketball. They have a.
Was that tipped? It was not tipped, and it'll be Brighton ball.
They've got. Right now, they have Johnny Ortiz 5'3" on Don Black. If they can get Don Black in the post, he should be able to do some work, but Ortiz is working hard this game. Hit his shot early. He's feeling good about himself. It's a big part of the game right now.
Yeah, LaQ Howard might have been a little shaken up on that collision, too, with Ben Wasco, and maybe that's why he didn't want any help up. He might be a little bit hurting, but we'll keep an eye on that. So this is Murchison, number 24. Inside to Clark, strong to the basket, lays it in.
He's an absolute beast. He's been phenomenal this quarter. He ran out of gas, filled up just a little bit of reserve there, and 10 seconds left in the quarter for the Spy Ponders.
Final possession of the first quarter should belong to Arlington. They lead by 6, 7 seconds to go. McNamara with the floater, high off the back rim, no. Rebound fought for. Nick Corrales comes up, he takes a fadeaway shot at the buzzer, no. And that's the end of the first quarter. And what a first quarter it was. Up and down, back and forth, but bottom line, it worked out well for the Ponders. They'll take a 20-14 lead into the second quarter.
Phenomenal execution, energy, and effort by both teams in the first quarter. But the Spy Ponders are showing to be the team with a little bit of extra talent, a little bit deeper team, a little bit more versatile. And that's been the key. But right now, I'm still a little bit nervous about the effort and energy level that Gerard Clark is bringing to this basketball game. He's been able to finish through contact, deflect passes at the rim, and overall kind of dominate this game at times. But nobody has played better so far than Don Black, and no surprise there than in the biggest game of the season to date, Don Black's come to play.
And let's keep in mind, too, that Arlington played a good chunk of that first quarter without all-league performer Bensley Joseph. When Bensley went to the bench, it was 10-7 Arlington. Now it's 20-14, so Arlington actually able to increase their lead with Bensley on the bench, at least up until now.
Bensley on the bench gives Brighton a much better matchup defensively. It allows them to not have to focus so much of their energy and speed on Bensley and spread it out elsewhere. It allows them to be a little bit more effectively in defense, but better, more so they're resting on offense.
Don Black with the steal. Let's see what happens here. One-on-one. Left hand, no. Oh! Oh, James Gascoigne with the follow-up jam! What a play! Don Black with the steal. It was challenged by Brighton, and Gascoigne was there to put it down.
Gascoigne electrifies the crowd with a putback for the ages.
Pull-up jump shot here by Brighton, number 3, is no good. That's Howard. Rebound, Don Black.
Don Black is dominating the boards right now. This place is about to explode.
Gascoigne for 3. Can he follow up a jam with a 3? Yes, he can, ladies and gentlemen. And if I'm Brighton, I might be thinking about a timeout here. It's 25-14 Arlington.
Need to get a timeout, Hugh Coleman. Your team's in a bit of trouble. James Gascoigne has taken over this basketball game from the inside and out.
5 straight for Gascoigne, 5 straight for the Pond as they lead at 25-14. From the three-point arc, it's good, and that's Messiah Murchison for 3.
Murchison with a huge three-pointer to keep the Bengals within distance.
Gascoigne up, under, no. Taylor high for the rebound. Johnny Ortiz was in a little bit of trouble there, but he spun out of it.
Right now, Clark wants this basketball. He wants to do something with this basketball, and he turns it over.
Steal by the Pond is Gascoigne. He better lay this in, and he does.
Gascoigne thought about throwing it down.
Can't do that to the game like this, Scott.
Learned from earlier in the year and laid it in.
Gascoigne with the block from behind, but he will be called for the foul.
That's an unfortunate foul call there, Dan. I think he got all ball. We'd have to see in the replay. But anytime you swing your arm with that type of vigor and assertion, they usually call the foul. So I don't really have a problem with the foul call there. But with the energy and effort level he's playing with, you can't really fault him.
Doesn't look like they're tracking the player fouls accurately up on the scoreboard. But that should be James' first foul, 3rd on the team. And this is Quincy Taylor at the line for 2. He hits the first.
Taylor,
go ahead, Scott.
Taylor shoots the ball like a globe. It rotates around on a sphere, and that should not make for effective free throw shooting, even though no one's allowed to guard you.
Joey Pazia, number 21, into the Ponder lineup. He replaces Ben Wasco. As Scott advised, not a good free throw shooting form for Taylor. He hits just 1 of 2, and the Ponders lead it by 9, coming up on the 6-minute mark remaining second quarter from the Kozlowski Gymnasium.
1-2-2 defense here for the Bengals. They've played this a lot this year. Their slides are a little bit suspect, and the corners are usually open, even though a turnover there happened for the Spy Ponders.
Brighton ball, 5:59 to go, second quarter. Arlington by 9. And we've seen in past games, Scott, Arlington often has a defensive lapse in the even quarters. They held Brighton to 14 first quarter points. Let's see what they do here in the second quarter. Murchison got tied up, but he was able to get it to Howard for 3. Back rim, no. Howard able to track down the rebound from the back rim. And a long rebound. Here's Murchison. He hit a 3 earlier, misses this one. Nick Corrales with the rebounds. Looks like Brighton really kind of does live and die by the 3, Scott, though, no?
They sure do, and they love to get second chances. Spy Ponders very fortunate, though. They have to clean up the glass and know that those rebounds are oftentimes going to be long.
Correct. John Black, it looks like it's long. It is. Rebound for Clark.
So now the teams have kind of taken a breath and settled down a little bit after that frenetic pace in the first quarter.
Dump pass inside. Pazia tried to take the charge, but Arlington gets the turnover anyway. Nice little no-look pass by Don Black, but you have to be careful in a game like this with so much team speed that Brighton has. You have to give them enough distance that you know that that pass is going to be safe, and that's a dangerous pass against this team.
It's a dangerous pass, and Don, you hit the nail on the head. What you have to do is give extra space. They're going to close faster than it appears. They are fast to begin with, but they're even faster than they look.
Here's Gascoigne inside, flips it up, no. I think they're going to get Taylor on the foul.
They did. Taylor kind of went straight up and down, but what James did is he had a phenomenal post move. It was a drop step. He turned, squared his shoulders, perfect form, and the aggression was rewarded with 2 free throws.
Yeah, so Taylor is a tall 6'5", but he's not as bulky as Clark. So I think when James is inside against Taylor, he might be able to use his bulk against Taylor as opposed to against Clark.
Don, I got to tell you, so far, James Gascoigne's the best big man in this game, period, end of story.
No doubt.
He's been the strongest player. He's been the highest flyer. He's controlled the glass. It's been a phenomenal start for him.
Get in there. And it does. Gets the roll. 11 early on for James. And for Arlington, number 24, Sam Swift checks into the lineup, and he replaces Brendan McNamara. And what a great performance by McNamara with 2 clutch three-pointers. Let's see if Dom almost got the steal on Clark. Now they're going to get it over to Murchison. Murchison may have traveled. Ortiz bottled up in the corner. They go inside to Taylor, and that's going to be a holding foul on Swift. That'll be Sam's first and the 4th on the team.
So what the Spy Partners are doing is they are trying to get the ball out of Hugh Howard's hands. That's what those double teams are meant to do. Get it out of his hands and into somebody else's hands. Wise move by the coaching staff. Hugh Howard is capable of putting up multiple points in very short time.
Let's see what we have here. They're going to go on Gascoigne.
Wow.
Plowing through a pick. Ew. That would be James' second. And let's see what Coach Bowler does. He's going to go with Ben. I guess what they're saying is that there was a off-ball screen set, and James Gascoigne went plowing through it, and he gets called for the foul. Of course, that's something, again, with the 3-man officiating. Those things probably get unnoticed in a 2-man game, but with the 3rd guy looking into that area, into the paint, nothing else for him to look for, that's the kind of stuff they see.
Can't stand those calls. Just can't stand them.
A little jump shot there is good. Count the basket, and Johnny Ortiz will go to the line with a chance for a 3-point play. Sam Swift will pick up the foul.
There's right now a momentum change has
sir.
happened in this game. James Gascoigne, who has dominated the game inside and out, is out of the basketball game with 2 fouls. Bengals now just made a basket with another foul called against them. This is certainly a danger time for the Spy Ponders, but they need to make sure that they are controlling the basketball. Don't fuel it by turning it over. Controlled, good shots.
Ortiz at the line, and let's see, we're going to have a lane violation on Brighton, so that free throw will not count. It's 29-20 Arlington, and now with Joseph with 2, Swift with 2, Gascoigne with 2, Arlington with 16 fouls. Brighton will be in the bonus for the duration of this first half.
So you need a 2-man front, corners are open, move the ball side to side. Don't hold it.
Arlington playing without 2 of their 3 top offensive players right now, with Gascoigne and Joseph both saddled with 2 personal fouls. Don Black's going to have to carry the load. They go inside the Wasker, swing it around. Can Nick Corrales hit a 3? Come on, Nick, one time, baby. Oh, around and out. Rebound for Taylor.
That's good offense by the Spy Pioneers. Can't ask for better than that. Carry.
Another carrying violation called against Brighton. This time it is Messiah Murchison getting called for it. Earlier, Hugh Howard had been called for a carry. And now they're going to ask Don Black to tuck in his shirt.
So we got 4 minutes left in the half here. 9-point lead by the Spy Ponders. I will say if they can keep it anywhere in the 5 to 9, that is a big win.
I'm sure Coach Bull would like to go the rest of this half without having to go back to James Gascoigne or Bensley Joseph each with the 2 fouls. But should Brighton make a little run here, he may have to change that thinking. Let's see what happens.
My guess would be if it got to within 3. That's what I would say the magic number would be.
Because Arlington really now, like I said, without 2 of their top 3 scorers, and I'm sure if Brighton will really try to clamp down on Don Black, and let's see if anyone else from Arlington can pick up the scoring slack. Sam Swift has it taken away. This is Murchison. Murchison to the basket. No. Swift will pick up the foul. Actually, a good foul there by Sam Swift to prevent the easy basket.
Good foul by Swift. A little bit careless with the basketball. I said when this momentum shift potential happened that they were going to have to be strong with the basketball and prevent turnovers, and they've got to really dig in now. And you see McNamara coming back in the game. I love that substitution. He's had success early. He can stretch this defense. Right now, when you look at the team the Spy Ponders have out there against a zone, it's not an optimal team for a zone defense. They're going to have to look to get the ball inside, and hopefully maybe you look for them to put Don Black in the foul line. See where he goes.
Murchison hits both free throws. Ponder lead has been trimmed to 7. And yeah, I'd like the substitution of McNamara as well. Another offensive player for Arlington. And another thing too, Scott, not a lot of tape probably on Brendan McNamara because he missed a good chunk of the season with a knee injury. So Brighton might just kind of leave him alone, and if he can hit a couple of threes, it would really be huge for the Ponders.
8 seconds, got to keep this ball moving.
They try to kick it to Don Black in the corner. Ortiz with the steal. Ortiz missed the layup, got himself back in bounds. Legal play. This isn't the NFL.
Second chance points. Here we go.
Well, McNamara went for the strip. Arlington's going to be a little careful defensively with the haphazard strip steals because they are in the penalty, and you don't want to have a reach and foul result in 2 Brighton points.
Third chance here.
Yep.
This is danger time. Hard to stop a team 3 times. Watch LaQ here. Watch LaQ.
Pull up 3 short, and Brighton able to track down the rebound. Again, on those long shots, Arlington has to do a better job boxing out. Ball took a couple of, at least 1 bounce, maybe 2 bounces, and no one from Arlington able to come up with it.
Spy Ponders a little bit gassed right now. They're a little bit gassed.
Up and under move, crazy shot there, tipped up, no, rebound fought for. Brighton's got a big size advantage right now. Good hustle there by Arlington, and it's gonna be second down Ponders.
Second down Ponders on a fumble, and they really came out fortunate there, though, Don. I'll tell you, they gave him 5 chances. They had to have him drop the ball before they could get a tie up there, and they're very fortunate to come away with the basketball without losing a point.
Yeah, bottom line, Scott, empty possession for the Bengals. So look at it that way for Arlington. They had to play a lot of defense, but they held them scoreless that possession. Coming up on 2 minutes remaining in the first half, Arlington holding on with a 29-22 lead. Don Black. Oh, he tried to make the little dump pass into Ben Wasco. Thought it might have been deflected, apparently not. It'll be Brighton ball.
Right now, the Spy Ponders 152. They're kind of just trying to hang on for dear life to get to this half when they can get Gascoigne and Joseph back in the ball game.
I don't think we're going to see them unless maybe possibly a final possession with Arlington able to hold for one off of a whistle. Now, 3-point shot from the corner is good, and I've been kind of impressed with this Murchison player off the bench with 8 points, their leading scorer tonight.
He looks good. It's a 4-point game right now. Spy Ponders need to move this basketball with poise and conviction and shoot with confidence.
Need a basket here. Pazzi got bottled up, gets it to Wasco, kicks it up to Nick Corrales. Nick Corrales for 3, no. And tough for second chance opportunities there with Arlington just having Ben Wasco in there. No Gascoigne for offensive rebounds. Clark takes the shot, no. Another offensive rebound for Brighton, and it's going to be a loose ball foul committed by Don Black, and that will put Ortiz at the line for 1-1.
Ortiz, the shortest player on the court by a wide margin, comes down with that rebound. Right now, the Spy Ponders are playing a little bit lethargic, but I think, Don, mostly, I think they're a little bit exhausted right now. They need this 105 to tick off as fast as humanly possible and hope they can get a bucket on this end.
If I'm Coach Bowler, I don't like looking up at a scoreboard at home and seeing 18 fouls for me and only 3 for the visiting team, with the visiting team playing just as aggressively as my team, but that's the way it's gone here so far. 18 fouls for Arlington, 3 for Brighton. Ortiz hits the front end of the 1-1. Spy Ponders by 3.
Spy Ponders have gone for a lot of steals, and they've gotten them with steals and deflections. They've also gotten called for some fouls. Brighton has not been as vigorous or even aggressive on defense.
Brighton can be very aggressive now with 3 team fouls to give in this final minute of the first half. Ponders by just 2 now, as Brighton has ripped off 7 in a row. Traveling violation committed by Pazia, and Brighton now with a chance to tie or take the lead with a 3. And that would be a real shame for Arlington to play such a great half and then, due to the foul trouble, see this lead dwindle away to perhaps even trailing at the half.
Spy Ponders need to dig in. This is a big possession in this basketball game. Murchison looks dynamite right now. And of course,
he's on the line. Backcourt violation. Backcourt violation. There's about a 9-second differential between the game clock and the shot clock, so Arlington cannot hold for a final shot.
They won't get a 2 for 1 here.
No 2 for 1. Maybe they can. Wasco foul on jump shot. No. He fights for his rebound. It's out of bounds off Ortiz, and it'll be Ponder ball. And now, with only a 3-second differential between the clocks, look for Arlington to really hold this ball and get a final shot.
Ortiz made a mistake there. I don't think that was off of the Bengals. I thought it was off of the Spy Ponders. He went after it, ended up knocking it out of bounds. And a key possession for the Spy Ponders.
They're going to reset the shot clock to the full 30, Scott. So now there's only about a half-a-second differential between the 2 clocks. So look for Arlington to get off this final shot, make it or not, go into the halftime break with a lead. That's the strategy here. And they didn't have to go back to James Gascoigne or Bensley Joseph. Both players will be fine with the 2 fouls going forward. Now they're going to call a carrying violation on Nick Corrales. So Officials looking for that tonight. They called 2 against Brighton, so they felt like they're going to have to get one back against Arlington, and Nick commits a violation.
Watch like Hugh Howard and Messiah Murchison here. Want to really hope you don't go in with a deficit.
Either team has taken a first half timeout. Here comes Murchison. He's going to go all the way to the basket. And Wasco takes the charge. No! They're going to call Ben Wasco for the block.
Wasco.
Big collision.
It was a tremendous collision. He didn't quite get himself right in front of the defender at the last second. Those are those 50-50 calls. Didn't go his way. And Murchison, with 4.3 seconds, will have a couple of shots at the basket. It's important to remember, 4 seconds, and you have 4 dribbles now for the Spy Ponders. This is a big possession. Here comes Bensley Joseph back in, and you'll see James Gascoigne come in as well.
They're going to call that a 2-shot foul or a 1-and-1. They're going to give him 2,
Yeah.
saying he was in the shooting motion. So Murchison will go over the line with a chance to tie this game. It's the first.
Murchison has had a dynamite first half. He's been cool, calm, and collected from way downtown, and then connects there on a big free throw and can tie it up here. 4 seconds left, 4 dribbles.
Murchison ties it at 29. Double figures for Murchison. Here comes Bentley Joseph at the buzzer. No, back rim. You know, that's a tough situation for players to come in when they've sat so long to kind of try to go up the court and score in 4 seconds. Bensley did all he could, but the shot didn't fall.
This was a tale again, Don. You said it early. Even odd halves for the Spy Ponders. Dynamite in the first quarter, struggled in the second. The foul trouble was really tough for them to overcome. They struggled against the 3-2 zone. The good news is the players that were not able to participate because of foul trouble are the ones that will help them the most against a 3-2 zone like that. I do not expect that zone to be very effective in the second half, and if need be, it's going to be Don Black to drag them across the finish line.
The score at the end of the first half, Arlington 29, Brighton 29. Scott and I will be back with second half action.
You are watching ACMi Sports' coverage of Arlington basketball. Where would you rather be than right here and right now? And welcome back to the ACMi Sports Halftime Show. I'm lucky to have with us my friend, my buddy, my pal, my mentor, Alex Van Thong, the executive producer of ACMi Sports. And Alex, tell us a little bit about the project that you've been working on with me recently.
So, Scott, we started a new project at ACMi. It's a sports documentary series. You came to me with an idea of John Bowler and Jack Woods and how deeply ingrained they are in the sports community here in Arlington. And I mean, when you came up with this idea, it was a no-brainer. It was like, I heard it and I knew we had to do this. It's something that ACMi had to produce, and it's something that needed to be made for Arlington, because Arlington's filled with these sports legends and these people who are so deeply ingrained in sports and so deeply care about our teams. And I think we need to shed a little bit more light on these people. The teams are important, but it's also the people that have been around for a long time that do a bit more on the back end, that need to have some light on them as well.
I agree wholeheartedly. I was so happy that you were not only receptive, that you wanted to delve deeper. You know, we're gonna start the series with the piece on Jack Woods at Fidelity House and John Bowler at the Boys and Girls Club, and kind of put that all together, how those two community centers work together to shape and mold young lives, and that the product we're seeing here, the success here, is a result of the 20 years of service to community and love of Arlington. And what's going to be really exciting is we're not going to stop there. We're going to
That's
keep
right.
looking, because there's so many stories in Arlington.
Oh yeah, I mean, even as an AHS grad myself, I already have some people in mind I see in this gym today that I grew up with the past 20 years. They were my gym teachers. They were coaches. They were people who I've seen for the past 20 years in Arlington being a part of the sports world. And these people need a little bit more light shed on them. And it's great what they do, and I think more people need to know about it.
I agree 100%. And what you said about people in the stands, and in a game like this, I'm prepping for the game today, and I can't go 5 minutes without a former player that I worked with coming to say hi to me and ask me how I'm doing, and I'm seeing how they're doing, and we're reminiscing about old times. And that's really what it's all about, shaping the lives of young people, but the young people give to the coaches. So it's the community. It's what community's all about.
Right. No, I mean, what I've found is that people who come to Arlington and spend some time in Arlington, they end up staying around, and they end up coming back to really talk to the people that mean a lot to them. And I think it's Arlington's a sports town, but not only are we a sports town, we're a very caring town. And I think we really care about the people that have impacted our lives.
We do care. It's a wonderful community, and I want to thank you for giving me the opportunity to help and aid in the series, and we'll look forward to the first Bowler and Woods to be coming out soon. So thanks a lot for joining us, and we'll look forward to that.
Thank you.
Awesome. So we'll be back right after this.
My name is Max Toluca, and if you're interested in pursuing a career in sports media, come on down to Studio B at 892 Mass Ave in Arlington.
We're getting ready for second half action. Don Phelan alongside Scott Zwick, Alex Van Thong, our producer, Stars, our director, Zach Garrigus, and Felix Ansel on camera. And Scott, you know, I'm kind of sad here at halftime because I thought the Ponders played so well. They were winning, I want to say, 29-18 or 29-20. They went scoreless for a good stretch there at the end of the second quarter, and they find themselves tied at the half at 29.
Well, Don, all I got to say is where would you rather be than right here and right now? I know it's unsettling that they had a big lead and weren't able to hold on to it, but Brighton is a proud defending champion. They've made a run with two of Arlington's best players on the bench, where we've settled nothing now. It's 29-29 after starting out 0-0.
Sure.
So you know what? Here we go. Let's go. This is what we've prepared for. This is what we've trained for. This is what they're ready for. And I expect good things for the Spy Ponders in the second half.
Well, for one thing, they'll be able to get the offense back in gear because Bensley Joseph and James Gascoigne will be back into the Arlington lineup. And I want to say that James Gascoigne really brought it so far in the first half till he was sat down with the two fouls. 11 points. He had just a ridiculous putback dunk followed by a three-pointer. So he's done it from inside and outside. He was the best player on the court in the first half for either team.
He was the best player on the court. He's the most electrifying player on the court. And now he's got to try to continue to bring that energy, that same type of fire and intensity to the second half. But look for Bensley Joseph, who's certainly rested, ready to go and making an impact. This is Bensley Joseph time. This is where he can be. This is where a dynamic player, a special player can shine, and then Don Black to be the rock, the centerpiece that everything moves from.
It will be Brighton ball to begin the second half. For Arlington, the starting five of number 0, Nick Corrales, number 30, Bensley Joseph, number 14, James Gascoigne, number 23, Ben Wasco, and number 20, Don Black. And now in the first possession, we had a whistle, a foul. I was nervous that it was going to go against Gascoigne, but instead it goes against Jared Clark. So he picks up his first. And
he does pick up his first, and the Spy Ponders pick up right where they started the game, and that's getting deflections when when they go inside. And so a great start to the second half, and here's the 3-2 defense.
Yep. Here's the 3-2 you talked about earlier on. You kind of called it a lazy 3-2 when I was talking to you before the game. Let's see if Arlington can exploit it. Brighton with the same 5 that began the game for them. Now a little mishap there inside for Arlington, but they're able to keep it going. Wasco, little half hook shot, lays it in.
The high-low action is what they got there. They overloaded the side, and now they're going to get the ball out of like Hugh Howard's hands.
Oh no, what a fortunate break there for Brighton. Shot was missed by Ortiz. Rebound fought for it. It's loose. Taylor comes up with it. Clark's going to just say, "I'm just going to flip this one up in the air." He misses. Fights for his own rebound, but Gascoigne comes up with it for the Ponders. Ponders able to get the lead back with their first offensive possession. Don Black for three. No. Rebound. Wasco. He had a notion, decided not to. Arlington will reset the offense.
Arlington looks much sharper with the basketball against the 3-2 zone in the second half.
Gascoigne, foul line, spins. They wanted to travel, they don't get that. Wasco around the rim and in. So Ben Wasco starts the second half with 4 straight for the Ponders.
Ben,
they lead 33-29.
Ben Wasco doing damage inside. Doing damage from the foul line inside of the zone of the 3-2. So we'll see what happens here. The Spy Ponders are finding success where they've had it all year long against zones, and that's with a high-low set either at the foul line or down in the baseline.
I'll tell you what just happened there is what a ballsy play by Ben Wasco as he knocks that missed shot out of bounds. He comes up a little gingerly there. Wasco just took the position. Clark came down like a freight train. Wasco took the charge, and that's a tough charge to take when you're going against that Clark guy. And offensive foul on Clark, his second.
And they get the ball out of like Hugh's hands. And let's see if they go to Taylor.
A non-factor in the first half for Brighton was number 5, Angelo Lee. He came out early, and Messiah Murkison came off the bench and had 10 first-half points. Oh, Arlington got the deflection, but not the steal. 8 seconds remaining on the shot clock for the Bengals.
Spy Ponders have a pep in their step after halftime. They weren't discouraged. They weren't putting their heads down after being tied and relinquishing a lead.
LaQ with the floater, gets the roll.
LaQ, a little serendipity, bangs in, and it's a 2-point game. Back and forth we go.
Howard held to 3 first-half points, picks up his first basket of the second half, and the Ponders lead is down to 2. Wasco again, 6 straight for Ben Wasco for the Ponders, and the lead is back up to 4.
Ben Wasco likes what he's seeing, stopping and popping from the free throw line. Got to keep the ball out of like Hugh Howard's hands.
Here's Taylor. Excuse me, that's Lee, and he lays it in. Angelo Lee high off the window with the left hand.
Well, I don't know what that was all about. I could like to see him do that again in Game of Horse.
Bad shot by Lee, but he got it to go. And the teams are going back and forth, kind of trading baskets here early on in the second half. Gascoigne, Don Black. Gascoigne might have traveled there. Black's 3 is good from the corner.
Right now, the Spy Ponders are getting anything they want against this 3-2 defense. It'll be different to see if Hugh Coleman gets out of it.
You don't like the Brighton 3-2 defense.
No, I don't.
Ponders by 5. 4:46 remaining, third quarter. Here's a nice pass, and Clark is fouled. That's a good foul there by Nick Corrales.
Great foul right there. Somebody's got a little bit of got poked in the eye there. Looks like Quincy Taylor got poked in the eye, but so this will bring Jared Clark to the line. He's been relatively quiet after a strong start, so let's see what happens if he sees the ball go through the basket a couple of times here.
6 first-half points for Clark. He hits his first free throw. That foul on Corrales was his first on the team. Clark, different from Taylor at the line. He actually has a nice form for a big fella, and he knocks them both down.
This kid's a player. It's a nice, smooth stroke, and he's got to be someone they need to watch. They're still in the 3-2 now, and they've dropped it a little bit more down to the foul line for some help, so you can get some people open to the top of the key if you need be.
Brighton has played 6 plays. They have now received scoring from all 6 players. A little backdoor cut there by Don Black. Didn't work. Now they get it inside of Don, and he got tripped. Oh my goodness, what a difficult call there by the officials, as it looked like Quincy Taylor went over to try to get the defensive position, stuck out his leg. Dom fell over him, and they're going to call Don Black for traveling violation. That hurt.
So 3-point game now. It's been coming really from anywhere from Brighton, so the Spy Ponders has got to dig in. This is gut check time. This is championship time.
38-35 coming up on the halfway point of this third quarter. Hugh Howard's shot is no good. Bensley Joseph held to just 3 points so far in this game, squad. It'd be nice to get his offense going. He's going to try with a long three right now. Round and run and out. Gascoigne tipped the rebound, but it comes out to the Brighton player. Hugh Howard drives, kicks it to Clark. Clark inside, they try to get it to Taylor. Wasco got a hand on it. They still battle for it. Taylor able to save it to Clark. Clark off the window, no. Rebound fought for Ortiz. That was his own player that hit him, and they're going to call Don Black for the foul.
That was a tough call.
No.
The official was out of position. He got hit by his own player. Don knows it. What they aim to do now is move on to the next play. 38-35. This is a big possession in the ball game. A mistake was made. Move on.
Second foul on Don Black, second on the team. The scoreboard now is able to track the individual fouls. We've been keeping track of them ourselves as well. Inside to Clark. Tough matchup against Gascoigne. He goes up and under and in.
Clark right now is flexing his muscles. He saw a couple go through the basket. He grabbed a couple rebounds, and he's ready to go. This is danger time right now, the Spy Ponders. They're kind of a little bit still focused on that bad call. They need to move forward and get an effective possession here.
Clark from the bottom of that zone came out and just stripped the ball away from Don Black. No contact, no foul, but Arlington retains possession. 17 on the shot clock. Ponders by 1, coming up on 3 minutes in the quarter. Come on, Bensley, one time for 3. Back rim, no. Ortiz with the rebound. He could have pushed the numbers for Brighton. Now they will try. They're going to call an offensive foul?
So that would appear to be Don a makeup call right there. That was maybe a travel. I don't know how you can call an offensive foul. But again, now everyone on Brighton has to move on. So
and Coach Hugh Coleman is just in disbelief of that call. He's going to go to the bench. Coach Coleman does the right thing and gets away from it. He replaces Angelo Lee with Messiah Murchison. Remember, Murchison was their top offensive player in the first half with 10 points off the bench.
Bensley Joseph has to be aggressive, has to look to score through a dribble drive here.
He's gone 0 for 2 on 3-point attempts here in this third quarter. Gascoigne inside to Wasco now. Wasco's going to flip again and hit again. Ben Wasco, 8 third-quarter points for the Ponders, and they lead by 3.
The senior captain has been the best offensive player in the second half for the Spy Ponders. They needed every basket.
Ooh, now Murchison to the rack lays it in. He was defended strongly by Don Black.
Murchison does something that almost no one's been able to do this season, dribble drive on Don Black. Right now, both teams playing with high confidence and executing with poise and conviction. This is championship basketball.
Yeah, teams right now trading baskets. Arlington by 1, 40-39, coming up on 2 minutes remaining in this third quarter.
Bensley Joseph has to look to be an offensive threat.
7 on the shot clock. It's going to have to be Gascoigne for 3. It's going to be short. No, it's not. It's nothing but net with James Gascoigne, and a timeout called by Arlington. Sorry, James. Beautiful shot. My bad.
Bing, bang, boom. James Gascoigne steps into a 3, but what I like there is just Bensley Joseph did just what I was hoping. He dribbled, drive. He dribbled, dished. James was wide open, stepped into a 3, and buried it. But Don, right now, this is championship basketball. Both teams playing at a very high level with high execution, effort, and energy. And Spy Ponders get a nice timeout here to kind of reset themselves. I'm just wondering if Hugh Coleman's going to stick with that zone. If it does, I think in the long run, it'll work out for the Spy Ponders, especially if Bensley Joseph can maybe just hit 1.
What a big basket there by James Gascoigne. Shot clock was winding down. I know it was within 8 when Bensley Joseph was driving, so it's probably 3 or 4 seconds maybe remaining on the shot clock when he knocked that one down. And again, I think both teams really wisely used 0 timeouts in the first half. Really wasn't an opportunity. We thought maybe Coach Coleman would have taken one when Arlington went up by 11. I think it was 25-14 at the time. Coach Bolo opted not to use any, and I think that's going to allow both teams, who really aren't going to probably try to use much bench players, to rest their players here in the second half.
So Bensley Joseph is on Murchison. He's going to have to really dig in and play well.
Ooh, Black got the tip. They wanted backcourt, but it was tipped by Don Black. Here's Murchison. He's going to take a 3. Shot is high and gets the roll. Oh, my goodness. Murchison has been good, but now he's lucky and good.
Serendipity, he's been phenomenal, but Bensley Joseph left him there. He can't do that.
So Murchison answers the Gascoigne three after the Arlington timeout, and we're back to a 1-point Spy Ponder lead.
Back and forth we go, championship basketball.
Bensley Joseph to Nick Corrales. Nick Corrales for three from the corner, and he hits. Big hoop, Nick Corrales. Ponders by 4.
Bensley Joseph makes up for his miscue on one end by dribble, drive, and penetration. That's called a dagger 3 when you make a pass from the baseline to the corner.
Nick Corrales makes them pay, and the Ponders lead by 4. Now a traveling violation committed by Hugh Howard. Turnover, and this is the first time now that Arlington can actually have a chance to extend their lead. We've been going back and forth, each team answering both times. Arlington up by 4, and now 4 with the ball.
Big possession here, but I'll tell you something, Dom. What I've seen here is Coach Bowler has moved Dom Black onto Hugh Howard. Coach Bowler and Coach Woods know that Hugh Howard is the one that at the end of the day is probably going to be their biggest threat, and putting Black on him is a magnificent move, and I'm not sure what we have here.
We're going to have a fan asked to go home. I'm not sure who it is, if it's a student or a parent or something, but you know, it's kind of funny, Scott. I have friends of mine that go to these high school basketball games, and they come and I play old man basketball, and they say to me, geez, I'm just amazed when I go to a game in the stands and I listen to what these fans say to these officials. And so sure enough, someone is being asked to leave. They actually had to get an Arlington police officer to escort somebody out of the gym. And good for the officials. You know, if it gets to the point where it's being personal or ridiculous like that, go home. You don't belong here.
That's not in the spirit of what we're doing here. We're watching young men who have trained for four months display their skills on a championship level.
20 seconds on the shot clock, 42 seconds on the game clock in the quarter. Ponders by 4. It'd be nice to see if they can add and make this into a 3-possession game. Corrales, can he do it again from the corner? Off the side of the backboard, no. About a 2-second differential between the shot clocks for the Bengals. They trail by 4. Actually, more like a 1-second differential between the two clocks. Here's Hugh Howard into the paint. Knocked away by Dom Black, but unfortunately knocked it right to Jared Clark, who lays it in.
More luck for the Bengals. They've had a lot of lucky plays. That time the ball was deflected by Dom Black right in the hands of Jared Clark, who just laid it in with ease, and it's a 2-point game. Back and forth we go.
Now they stop play again. And fortunately, Brighton isn't really using a full court press, because that's, you know, stopping the game really allows the defense to set up. But Arlington will be able to hold for a final shot here with inside of 10 seconds, and the Ponders lead it by 2. Here's Bensley Joseph. He fakes. He puts it up. Good challenge there. Good closeout by Brighton. And that was Murchison that closed out on Bensley Joseph, and the shot was altered, and that's going to end the third quarter.
Murchison ends the third quarter with a phenomenal defensive play. Bensley Joseph still struggling to shoot the basketball. He hasn't struggled to pass it. 2-point game. Not much more is settled. I thought that was a good quarter for Arlington, especially offensively. The key now is, are they going to be able to prevent the dribble drives of Hugh Howard and shots by Messiah Murchison, who's kind of come out of nowhere here to hit some big shots? And the big question still remains, at any point in this game, is Gerard Clark going to say, I'm taking over here, and try to really drag his team over the finish line? Those are the questions for the Bengals, for the Spy Ponders. Stay the course, believe in the system, and do what you do. High energy and effort and execution.
And that was just a great quarter of high school basketball, Scott. Arlington scored 17 points. Brighton scored 15. Both teams shot a pretty high percentage. Both teams playing so hard. And it's going to come down to these final 8 minutes. When you talk to Coach Bowler, one of your things that he said was he felt like they didn't play a full 32 minutes the other night in their win. But he felt like if you're going to beat Brighton here, I don't care if it's home, away, or neutral gym, you got to play all 32 minutes. And now it comes down to the final 8, and basically the Ponders are up 2-0 heading into the final quarter.
To be the best, you have to beat the best, and that's what's the task for the Spy Ponders now, with 1 quarter remaining.
Ponders trying to knock out the defending state champions in Division II basketball. Bengals of Brighton High School now. A blocking foul called against Brighton. It's a hand check foul. and that will be the fourth team foul against the Bengals. So 2 team fouls for Arlington, 4 for Brighton, so a little advantage there for the Ponders.
Spy Ponders need to move this basketball a little bit quicker. Don't let it get stuck.
They close out on Bensley. Up top to Nick. Now Bensley's going to take a 3 from deep waters. No. LaQ Howard comes up with the loose ball. And chance to tie or take the lead for Brighton.
LaQ Howard is dangerous right here. Now it's a high screen. This is danger time.
Good pick set by Clark. He was actually open on the pick and pop. They did not give it to him. Now he's matched up against Gascoigne. LaQ Howard, pull up 3. No. Rebound fought for. Murchison came flying in for it, but he was not able to take it away from Ben Wasco. Strong rebound by Ben. Here's Bensley Joseph. Drive. Had the shot altered by Taylor, out of bounds, Arlington ball.
Right now, Bensley Joseph is struggling with his offense, but I like that he's aggressive. When he was passive, I didn't like it at all. At least he's now attacking. Dribble drives are good. Dribble drives and kick are best right now for Bensley. Let a few others put the ball in the basket, then you take over.
He's been held to just 3 points here in this game. All-league performer Bensley Joseph. Arlington had 3 of the 8 all-league players in the Middlesex League. 3 seconds on the shot clock. He's going to have to shoot it. Nick, tough shot. Hits the rim, so it's good for the shot clock purposes. Gascoigne up and under and in.
A phenomenal offensive set is finished by Gascoigne cleaning up the glass.
Ortiz into the paint. Floater up and under. No, there's Taylor for the rebound, and he strongly puts it back up and in.
Taylor, block on one end. Rebound and follow through. Back and forth we go. Championship basketball at the Taz.
48-46 Arlington. Wasco in the corner to Nick Corrales. Dom Black for 3. It's long. Rebound fought for, and Taylor is just kind of trying to take over this game a little bit on both ends of the floor.
He's spry right now.
As Clark had it stripped away by Corrales. Clark able to come up with it anyway, and Taylor lays it in, count the basket. And Quincy Taylor will go to the line with a chance for a 3-point play and a chance for Brighton to take the lead.
Right now, Quincy Taylor is taking over this basketball game. And right there, Jared Clark had an exceptional pass. If this lead changes and Brighton is able to get a lead here, oftentimes that's a big mental hurdle to overcome. And right now, Brighton is playing with enthusiasm and effort that they believe they can win this basketball game.
Taylor competes the 3-point play, and Brighton takes a timeout. And Scott, I want to say that this might be Brighton's first lead of the game.
It is their first lead of the game, which is huge. As I said, it's a mental hurdle to overcome. Right now, Arlington has to not only match Brighton's enthusiasm, they have to overcome it. And right now, this is Dom Black time. This is James Gascoigne time. This is strong with the basketball. This is belief in yourself and your system, and know that you're a champion and are ready for this. This is what you trained for.
Game has been tied on a couple of occasions, tied at the half at 29, but this is Brighton's first lead of the game. Brighton took that timeout, their first timeout. And while we have a moment, I'd like to call attention to Arlington junior Ryan Oosting. It was announced at halftime that Ryan competed in, I believe, the regional track championships today. And once again, he has won the meet. He completed the mile in, I believe they said, 8 minutes and 56 seconds, which is a new national record for the 2-mile. And he will go on to compete for the high school national championship next week. So first of all, congratulations to Ryan, and good luck to him next week.
Can't drive a car
2 miles.
2 miles in 8 minutes.
Oh, stolen there by Brighton, but unable to come up with it. Break there for the Ponders. Murchison would have gone in uncontested. Arlington down by 1.
This is the highest leverage basketball Arlington's played this season.
Gascoigne hits. What a big bucket for James Gascoigne.
Right on cue, James Gascoigne squares his shoulders and gets the Spy Ponders to lead. And the Spy Ponders are playing with outstanding vigor and effort.
50-49 Arlington. Loser goes home. Winner moves on. Clark puts it up. No, he's fouled on the play. He'll go to the line for 2 shots.
Clark he has put the throttle full. And he is going to try to single-handedly drag his team to the next round. So the Spy Ponders have a big challenge in front of them.
5:17 remaining, fourth quarter. Clark at the line for 2, and his first free throw is no good. For Arlington, freshman Brendan McNamara checks into the lineup. He replaces Nick Corrales, and boy, what a pressure spot for the freshman.
That's astonishing that he's going to come into the game with 4:17, but it's going to give Nick Corrales a much-needed rest, and we're tied. Here we go.
Clock hits 1 of 2, and we are tied at 50 with 5:11 remaining in the fourth quarter.
Spy Ponders have done well when they've moved the ball quickly side to side and not had it stick.
Bensley to the basket, lays it up, no. Rebound knocked out of bounds by Brighton. Bensley wanted a foul call, did not get it on the baseline drive.
He didn't get fouled. He made a nice take to the basket. He's got to finish that through the little bit of contact that he had.
5:03 remaining fourth quarter. Arlington has a full 30. McNamara fakes, pulls up from inside the arc, and hits! Brendan McNamara, 3 for 3 from the field. He has 8 points and gives the Ponders the lead.
The highest leverage basket of the season so far has been made by a freshman.
Here's Ortiz, nice dump pass to Taylor. Taylor lays it in and ties the game.
Taylor and Clark are taking over the ball game for the Bengals, and back and forth we go, tied again.
Taylor might have got fouled on that play. Bensley Joseph for 3, it's off. Tied at 52, Brighton ball, 4:27 to go. Here comes Murchison, baseline drive against McNamara. That's a difficult shot. He misses it poorly. Wasco got the rebound, and he was fouled by Clark. And for Clark, that will be his third. And as a coach, you'd never want to see your big men pick up a foul 80-some feet away from the basket.
Murchison has played phenomenal all game, but that's a tough shot for him. It's a real high leverage shot. He wasn't quite ready to make it. But the biggest thing there was that Ben Wasco did not allow himself to lose the basketball with contact.
Bengals go to the 3-2 defense. Let's see if Arlington can exploit it. Bengals really not much full court pressure here tonight at all against Arlington. Again, maybe because they only play 5, really only play 5 because they bring Murchison off the bench and he plays for Lee, and Lee doesn't play that much. 3-point shot by Black is no good. Bengals with the lead, chance to take the lead again. Here's Ortiz. And he is called for a traveling violation. He doesn't believe it, and neither does Coach Hugh Coleman.
Ortiz has struggled letting the game come to him. Talked to Coach Hugh Coleman before the game. He said when Ortiz lets the game come to him, he plays well. There he tried to do a little bit too much and traveled. Spy Ponders again. This ball has to be moving side to side. It cannot stick in one player's hands.
Halfway through the fourth quarter, tied at 52. Team fouls have caught up a little bit. 5 for Brighton, 4 for Arlington.
Now this is actually a 2-1-2, which means they should have a one-man front instead of a 2.
There's Clark taking a chance on Joseph. Here goes Joseph on the drive to Wasco. Wasco with the left hand lays it in! And Wasco with 10 second half points has been amazing here for the Ponders.
Serendipity for the Spy Ponders as a deflection ends up in Ben Wasco's hands. He finishes with his left to give the Spy Ponders a big 2-point lead. And a frustration timeout is taken by the Bengals, and the Spy Ponders hold a precarious 2-point lead, but a massive basket by Ben Wasco.
Murchison was in trouble, possibly risking a 5-second violation. Bensley Joseph was in his grill, and he was forced to call a timeout. And good thing he did, because he was about to turn that ball over.
He sure was. It was a really high acumen timeout by Murchison. And I'll say something about Bensley Joseph. He may have struggled on the offensive end tonight, but he has given his best effort and execution on defense, and you saw it right there. He invaded his space without fouling. That's a massive play right there. And so he's got to keep that focus and that energy. They're going to need him down the stretch, whether it's hitting an outside shot or making free throws. For the Bengals, it's got to be watching. You got to be watching. Like Hugh Howard, and then obviously inside Jared Clark and Quincy Taylor.
You know, you preached about Hugh Howard before the game, Scott. He's been held to 5 points. He had a 3-pointer in the first half. He has 1 basket here in the second half. So Arlington has really done a tremendous job defensively on him, but he's still the kind of player that can win a ball game down the stretch for you.
This is when he's most dangerous, when he hasn't hit shots yet going into the last 3 minutes of a ball game.
And he's not going to be afraid to shoot it either.
No.
Senior 4 seniors in the lineup for the Bengals right now, with the exception of Murchison.
So who's going to shoot the ball for the Bengals
This
here?
Murchison with the quick defense by Bensley Joseph. 2 on the shot clock. They throw it up. They're not going to get a shot. Well, they do, but that is out of bounds. It'll be Arlington ball.
So with a 2-point lead and a championship on the line with 2:57, the Spy Ponders play their most inspired defensive set of the season. Good side.
2:50 remaining, fourth quarter. Ponders by 2, trying to extend their lead.
Keep the ball moving side to side. You can have a one-man front because it's really a 2-1-2.
Trying to make this into a 2-possession game. 10 on the shot clock for the Ponders. They try to go inside, and that's just not going to work against Brighton. They're too fast, and it's Clark, the biggest man on the court, that's able to pick off the pass. Here's Clark. He's going to go strong to the hole. Flips it up. No. There's Taylor, and Taylor will go to the line for 2. Gascoigne will commit the foul from behind, his 3rd.
And again, Brighton flexes their muscles over their heads with their inside play. It's been really all they've had inside.
And this is Taylor, who we talked about in the first half with a funky free throw shooting form. I don't know what his statistics are for the season, but he's at the line for 2, and he needs them both to tie. Both teams now with 5 second half team fouls, and the first knuckleball is good by Tim Wakefield / Quincy Taylor.
Quincy Taylor is an Earth fan because he likes to see that ball rotate around on its axis, which is very difficult to make.
But it was effective that time, and just 1 of 2. So both times, just 1 of 2 for Taylor. And the Ponders will take a 1-point lead into this possession, coming up on 2:15 remaining in the fourth quarter. And again, it's the freshman McNamara out there getting significant minutes. Ball's knocked out of bounds by LaQ Howard. It will remain Arlington ball, 2:11 to go.
Huge possession right here. Let's see if they can get multiple people touching the basketball, possibly look to get Ben Wasco the ball at the free throw line, where he's been very effective.
McNamara in the corner where he's hit a couple threes in the first half. Here's Bensley Joseph. McNamara, pass unable to work. And so McNamara will check out of the Arlington lineup, and they'll bring in the more experienced Nick Corrales into the game. And I wouldn't be surprised if Coach Bowler maybe does a little offense-defense with Corrales and McNamara here at these final 2 minutes. Corrales, an exceptional defensive player, of course.
Could be, but we'll see if...
Bengals with a chance to take the lead. Here's LaQ Howard to Clark. Clark's going to go to the basket, throws it up, no. And it's going to be Brighton ball.
So I said earlier in the onset of the broadcast that Jared Clark is going to try to drag across the finish line. He's trying, but James Gascoigne has just been phenomenal on defense.
Yeah, he just doesn't really have that great touch. And now he's going to go back to the lane, misses, fights for his own rebound, another brick. Rebound fought for, again out of bounds off of Arlington. Ben Wasco hits the deck again. I think he tried to take the charge on Clark. I kind of looked away from that one, and Wasco went down, but no call, and it'll be Brighton ball. 1-point game, minute 45.
Brighton continues to flex their muscles inside. This is now their 3rd shot at the basket. Very tough to stop a team 1 time, even more difficult 2, nearly impossible for 3.
Looks like man-to-man defense for the Ponders out of this out-of-bounds situation for the Bengals. They go inside to Taylor, and an offensive foul on Taylor. Oh, great job by Ben Wasco again.
Ben Wasco has been the MVP of the second half for the Spy Ponders. That time he held his ground. He took the charge. Taylor put his shoulder down.
Sure did.
Spy Ponder ball. Need to be strong with the ball and get a good look at the basket. If you can get a 3-point lead, a good timeout here by Coach Bowler. Expect them to have their whatever they think is their best offensive set against this type of defense. Look to see it here. One thing that I'm a little bit surprised that they haven't made an adjustment is they've dropped that middle person back. It's really a 2-1-2 defense, and when you have a 2-1-2, you can have an even man front, a 1-2-2. So
right.
So if they were to come out, they could come out with their horn set or anything that's going to have somebody that can shoot the basketball at the top of the key could get a wide open look.
Curious to see what Brighton is going to do defensively. They've kind of just gone back into their zone or even their man-to-man defense. They really haven't put much pressure on Arlington in the backcourt. And that could be a tough thing for Arlington because they haven't seen it much tonight. Now Brighton comes out with it. let's see how Arlington reacts if Brighton goes that route. Now, the other key thing on that offensive foul is that was team foul number 6 for Brighton. So Arlington will be in the bonus for the duration of the game.
Which means I would think they're going to stay in the 2-3 zone because they don't want to get a touch foul to put good free throw shooters on the line. But we'll see. I just think that top of the key is open. If they can get somebody a shot there, we'll see.
Brendan McNamara back into the Arlington lineup, as I suggested. Arlington doing a little offense-defensive substituting here in this final 2 minutes. Coming up on a minute and a half remaining fourth quarter.
Good ball movement here.
18 on the shot clock. 1:27 now in the game clock. Arlington by 1. Gascoigne gets it to Wasco. I thought it might have been deflected. They're going to talk about this. The outside official, I didn't think it was,
no,
but it
absolutely
had
not deflected.
It had the appearance that it was, though.
Yep.
Brighton ball.
You got it right. So James got a little bit excited. They got that's the high-low they like. They got what they wanted. So now it's dig-in time on defense. Watch, make sure LaQ Howard can't dribble drive.
Minute 19 to go. Ponders by 1. Division II North quarterfinal matchup. Winner goes on, loser ends their season. Ortiz for 3. That's not in. Rebound Arlington. Bensley Joseph comes up with it. Coming up on the final minute remaining here in the contest. Arlington by 1. Now exactly a minute to go. Ponders trying to add on to this precarious 1-point lead. 3-2 zone for Brighton.
Time for Don Black to step up.
Bensley Joseph down to Ben Wasco. Ball's knocked away. Stripped by Brighton. 44 seconds to go. Brighton down by 1. A Brighton player is down back here. It's Taylor.
And Howard is
and they're not stopping
Bensley.
the game.
Oh.
And now they're going to stop play as Taylor is significantly injured.
Wow, he's hopping off.
Oh, yeah, he's not coming back.
That's not good.
He's not coming back.
No. So 20 seconds left on the shot clock. That's actually, honestly, I think that's a break for the Spy Ponders. They did not want Bensley Joseph on LaQ Howard. They want they want Don Black on LaQ Howard, who's there right now. So the key here is it's going to be LaQ Howard or it's going to be Jared Clark. And a timeout is taken by Hugh Coleman with 35 seconds left. Catch your breath, folks. I mean, it doesn't get any tighter than this. This is championship basketball, high leverage, phenomenal.
So it's actually 36.2 seconds remaining in the game. 20 seconds on the shot clock, as Scott indicated, so 16-second differential between the clocks. Brighton really can't go 2 for 1. Of course, if they come up empty, they're probably going to have to foul because we'll be inside of 30 seconds, and then it's going to come down to some free throw shooting. But the key thing is, can Arlington stop Brighton one more time here with the 1-point lead?
Should be interesting. One thing that Arlington can do right now, when you see Johnny Ortiz take a high leverage shot and shoot it off the side of the backboard, you might not have to really defend him other than a layup. So you could help off of him, help if they go down low off of his man, use his man to create a deflection or a steal. Basically, what you want to make sure that happens here is that you are doing your best job to make sure that like Hugh Howard or Jared Clark don't get looks that they find preferable. And if they score a basket, don't panic. Run your offense and get a good shot.
Hey, one final shot. I'd like to say best wishes to Ian Miller, who's been on the Arlington training staff for probably 4 seasons as a student trainer, and he will be going to Plymouth State with this being the last home game for the Spy Ponders, win or lose. Just want to say good job, Ian Miller, and best of luck to you at Plymouth State. So here we go. It's crunch time here. State champion, Brighton Bengals, Division II state champions with their title on the line. Flip shot is no good. Gascoigne, they say, got and hit Howard on the top of the head, and James will pick up the foul, his 4th, and Howard will go to the line for 2 shots.
So like Hugh Howard hasn't done a whole lot all game, but they bring the high screen out. He turns the corner with speed and conviction, and now he's got 2 freebies, and Hugh Howard is not going to miss many of these.
And Taylor back at the scoring table for the Bengals. The way he went off the court, I didn't think we would see him for the rest of the game. And here he comes.
So James Gascoigne is coming out of the ball game. I'm assuming they're going to call a timeout after they retrieve this basketball to get him back in. They don't want him to get his 5th foul retrieving this rebound.
They allowed the substitutions. Usually they wait until after the first free throw for that to happen, but substitutions are in for both teams. Joey Pazza for the Spy Partners, and the free throw is missed. So we are under 30 seconds, Scott. So even if Howard makes this free throw, Arlington will be able to hold for a final shot with a tie score. They do not have to shoot before the end of the game. Howard missed the first free throw. A lot of nerves here, a lot of pressure here. He hits the second and ties the game at 54.
So we'll see if the Spy Partners take a timeout, and they do right there. So let's set the stage. 54-54. 27.9 seconds. Where would you rather be than right here and right now? Division II North quarterfinals. Spy Partners against the defending champions have the ball right where they want to be. The question is, how are they going to execute? Their biggest offensive weapon against this 2-3 zone has been Ben Wasco. Ben Wasco is not really one of their most talented players on offense. So you're going to have to see, maybe you're going to work the ball side to side, hope to get an open look for maybe Don Black or a dribble drive from Bensley Joseph.
I just think the key thing to this possession for the Ponders is to make sure they get off this final shot. Don't leave any time on the clock. Go to overtime if you have to, or win the game. Both teams with 16 fouls, so neither team can take a chance to commit a foul. Arlington doesn't want to commit a foul on a moving screen. Of course, it wouldn't be a shooting foul for Brighton should they do that, or a player control foul. Brighton can't afford a ticky-tack foul. That will put Arlington at the line for a 1-and-1. So it all comes down to this.
It sure does come down to this, and the biggest thing if you're the Spy Partners, I agree with you, Don, about the last shot, but if you're going to go for the last shot, make sure the number one thing you don't do is turn the ball over.
And surprisingly, Scott, James Gascoigne not in this set for Arlington for the final 20. No, I think he only has 4.
Okay, that's interesting.
Timeout Brighton.
So Brighton will call a timeout
Arlington went small, Scott. They went with Brendan McNamara, Nick Corrales, Don Black, Bensley Joseph, and Ben Wasco.
So what they're going to do there is they're going to put 4 out and 1 in, and they're going to move the ball side to side. They're seeing exactly what I'm seeing, that top is open, and somebody's going to get a wide open look. Interesting that it would be James sitting down with the game he's had, but Coach Boland knows these situations as well as anyone. Where I was a little bit most concerned there was that Brighton and Johnny Ortiz specifically had come up and picked up full court. 27.9 is a long time to hold a basketball. True. The one thing you cannot do here under any circumstance is turn the ball over. No. If you feel you're going to travel, if you feel you're going to throw the ball out of bounds, call timeout or throw it up at the basket so you at least get a shot to win the basketball game. But make sure you do not turn the ball over.
Brighton down to their final timeout. Arlington still has, I believe, 3 timeouts. So as you mentioned, they can afford to take one if they find themselves in trouble. Ortiz has done this. Ortiz has done this all game long, where he kind of just puts a little token pressure on Bensley and then he drops off like that. That's what they've been doing all game long. I don't really know what the purpose of that is, but because Arlington's able to inbound the ball and get it to their best point guard with it right here, and here's Bensley Joseph, and Brighton's just going to sit in the zone. And if I'm Arlington, I kind of like this because I know I'm going to get off that final shot. Now they get a little bit aggressive. Who I know, huh? You got to be careful with those passes. 10 seconds left in the game. Season on the line for both teams. Bensley Joseph with the tricky dribble. Gets it to Dom Black. 3 seconds. Dom's going to have to throw it up there, and it goes off the top of the backboard, and they should not put any time up there. No way.
No, and Don, the Spy Partners obviously took your philosophy there. They wanted to make sure they got the last shot so they couldn't lose the game. Mission accomplished. It wasn't exactly what they wanted, how they wanted it to go. But so we got extra basketball here.
Maybe. Let's see if they're going to put time up on the clock. I'm not sure when and if that ball ever went out of bounds because, the top of the backboard is in. And until it hits the black iron, it's not out of bounds. They're going to put 0.4 of a second. You know why that's significant? Because it does allow Brighton to catch and shoot. It does not have to be a tip. They can throw a full-length court pass, take a desperation shot, and get it off. So
if you're the Spy Partners, everything stays in front of you. Everything stays in front. Nothing behind, and do not foul.
Can't foul.
But you also cannot just let somebody shoot. You can't do that either. You have to contest.
Let's see what happens. Hopefully Brighton will throw it away. Ball's tipped away by Ben Wasco. Dangerous play there by Ben, but he's able to tip it away from Clark, and we're going to go to overtime.
Oh, so somebody start my heart back up. When I saw Ben Wasco kind of reaching in there, that is danger time there, because any foul would have resulted in a 1-and-1, and Brighton could have won the basketball game. But so at beginning of the game, we'd settled nothing. Halftime, we'd settled nothing. And after 4 quarters, we settled nothing. So let's play 5 more minutes. Why not, right?
It'll be 4 minutes.
Sorry.
Yep, it'll be 4 minutes. Brighton will get an additional timeout, so they will now have 2 timeouts remaining. Arlington also will get an additional timeout. They have 4 timeouts remaining. Both teams are in the bonus, with each team having 6 team fouls. Those team fouls will carry over into the overtime. James Gascoigne, you know, the scoreboard lists him with 4 fouls.
I think he has 5, Don. I honestly, that's my guess. I think he does.
There's no way he's not in this game.
No, I know. I think we could be wrong. But there really is another reasonable explanation that he's not coming out for the tip, right? He's the best jumper. So I think we have to assume he's fouled out of the game. They just
scoreboard has it as 4. I have it at 4. But must have missed something in there, because he's
they don't want him to foul out. They're keeping him. I don't know. I'm as confused as you.
There's no way.
So
but perhaps, I don't know.
Ben Wasco will jump it up against Quincy Taylor. Usually the team that gets the first bucket early gets tons of momentum here. So Bensley Joseph is going to jump it up. Look at this, folks.
Gascoigne with 18 points. Double tip legal play by Brighton. They will get the first possession of the 4th quarter, tied at 54 with the season on the line. Murchison, he's been quiet in the second half. Here's Clark, strong to the hole. No, they're going to call a reach-in foul, hand-check foul. And I think it's going to go against Ben Wasco. For him, I believe that's only his first foul. Problem
here is the best defender of Clark all game long by far has been James Gascoigne.
Right.
It's a very difficult task. Ask Ben Wasco to prevent dribble drives, and Clark will have a 1-and-1 here.
1-and-1 for Clark, and the senior knocks down the front end.
He's a senior multi-sport athlete and shown his worth there, hitting a big free throw to put the Bengals up 1. The Spy Ponders need to get excellent ball movement on the other end and shoot with poise and confidence. Confidence being the key.
Jared Clark with 14 points. Just hit the front end of the run of 1. Misses the second one, but the rebound is able to be tapped back out to center court. Dom Black steals it, but tips it out of bounds. It'll be Brighton ball.
Messiah Merchant got up and made the tip of the game right now. That's the play of the game right now. And the Spy Ponders need to make sure they don't reach, do a good job of contesting every shot. But LaQ Howard is going to the basket, folks.
Howard guarded by Dom Black. Black's done a phenomenal job against Howard. Here comes Clark to the hole, lays it up and in, and Brighton leads by 3.
Clark right to the basket, lays it in.
16 for the Coastal Carolina-bound tight end. The Ponders find themselves down by 3.
McNamara has to make himself available to shoot the basketball. He's got to be available to shoot the basketball.
10 on the shot clock for Arlington. 3:13 in the game clock. Bensley Joseph. Dom Black for 3. Short. He fights for his own rebound, but there's Murchison with 2 good rebounding plays, 1 on each end of the court for the Bengals.
Murchison's hustle plays have been the difference in this game, as is Ben Wasco's.
Steal by Arlington. Here comes Nick Corrales, and he's going to go to the line for 2.
Nick Corrales benefited from the phenomenal effort, championship effort by Ben Wasco, kind of keeping this game alive. If it was a 3-point game, but Don, when they had the ball, it kind of felt a little bit might have slipping away. These are big free throws here for Nick Corrales. Arlington showing their championship medal here.
57-54 Brighton, 2:54 remaining in overtime. Nick Corrales at the line for 2. And his first free throw is good.
The Spy Ponders have to think about double teaming Jared Clark. Right now, Jared Clark's getting to the basket with ease. They have to make it difficult for him, and they can't foul him because he's an excellent free throw shooter and a clutch basketball player.
2 clutch free throws for Nick Corrales.
Nick Corrales is a championship basketball player, and here we go.
Ponders down by 1, 2:46 to go in OT. Crowd wanted to travel on Ortiz, none called. Here's LaQ Howard. Tricky dribble against Don Black. Howard, high off the window. No. Arlington just doesn't have enough rebounding without James in there. Clark misses. Wasco commits the foul.
Right now, Clark is getting to the basket by dribbling with his left hand. That's putting Wasco in a very difficult spot. We know he's a dominant right-handed player. You don't want him to put it to the deck with his right. Tough spot for the Spy Ponders.
They just don't have enough rebounding in there so that when they do get a stop against Brighton, Brighton able to come up with second and third chances, and that's what's killing them right now. First free throw clock is good. 17 now.
Clark swishes it in. He's feeling it right now. Back and forth we go.
He missed one the last time. Arlington's got to do a good job boxing out as he misses the second one, but again, Murchison keeps it alive. Clark, pull-up jump shot. No, Murchison over the top, tips it, out of bounds, Arlington ball.
Arlington is very fortunate. Murchison is taking over with tips off of rebounds to keep balls alive. Clark couldn't hit a free throw, then couldn't hit the putback. Arlington is alive and well. Poise, conviction, confidence, championship medal. This is the time.
2:27 remaining in overtime. Ponders down by 2 with the basketball and a chance to tie or take the lead with a 3.
Bensley Joseph has struggled in the second half, but he's the type of player that could make a basket late and close.
Been held to 3 points on a 3-pointer in the first half. Ball knocked out of bounds by Brighton. It will remain Arlington ball. 18 seconds on the shot clock, 2:15 on the game clock.
As this game has gone on, this 3-2 defense that I said I didn't like has become more and more effective.
It was effective in the fourth quarter, holding Arlington to 8 fourth-quarter points.
McNamara has to get ready to shoot. McNamara has to get ready to shoot.
10 on the shot clock. 2:06 game clock. Bensley faked it. Dom in the corner. He's going to drive baseline. He's going to go up and under with the left hand, and he gets the roll. Dom Black ties it at 58.
The highest leverage basket of the season, of course, is made by Dom Black.
Black will be called for the reach-in foul, and that's going to put LaQ Howard at the line for a 1-and-1. 9th team foul for the Ponders.
LaQ Howard has been unbelievably fast with the dribble drives. As this game has gotten late and close, it's almost like he's gotten extra energy instead of getting tired.
Third foul on Dom Black, and Arlington has got to do a better job on the boards. On a missed free throw potential, LaQ Howard hits the front end of the 1-and-1.
Clutch on one end from Dom Black, clutch on the other end from LaQ Howard.
LaQ Howard gives the Bengals the 1-point lead with 1:51 remaining in overtime. Hits them both.
Didn't hit the net in either one of them. 2-point game. McNamara's got to be ready to shoot. He's going to be open in this corner if they reverse it.
They get it to Nick Corrales in the corner. Up top to McNamara. Bensley Joseph took a chance. Excuse me, on the pass there. Almost was stolen. Now Brighton gets the rebound on the missed shot. Ben Wasco down and appears to be injured. Clark inside against McNamara. He's just going to be too strong there, and he lays it in.
Clark dragging his team across the finish line. 4-point game.
19 for Clark. Ponders find themselves down by 4, 2-possession game.
Move the
Joseph,
basketball.
baseline drive, and he's fouled by Clark, and I believe for Clark that will be his 4th. Wouldn't mind getting him out of this game, because obviously James Gascoigne has fouled out for the Ponders. Unless he's injured, we still have him down unofficially with 4 fouls, but there's no way he's not in this game. I'm sorry. Unless Coach Bowl is pulling a Coach Belichick and keeping him out of the game a la Butler.
There you go.
I don't think so.
So here's some big free throws here for Bensley Joseph.
It's a 1-and-1, I think, right?
There's two shots.
2-shot foul? Doesn't matter anyway. He hits it at the front end.
So Bensley Joseph has struggled on the offensive end, but it's not affecting him when he gets to the line. Big free throw here, no panic time. 118, regular defense, prevent dribble drives from LaQ Howard.
Knocks them both down. Timeout Arlington.
Beautiful timeout by the Spy Ponders. They're down 2. It's felt at times like it's been a little bit more of a lead than 2. The keys for the Spy Ponders are going to be whether they can prevent dribble drives from both like Hugh Howard and Jared Clark. What they want to do, if they can, is basically get anybody else to shoot the basketball, which is not one of their strengths because they're not really a zone type team or something like things like that. But shading those players that are guarding Ortiz, that are guarding even Messiah Murchison, shade off them, kind of dare Coach Hugh Coleman to let those players shoot the ball, because right now they're just really struggling with those two players.
Yeah, Clark has been tough. He has 19, and without James Gascoigne to really battle him, and I thought James did a really good job against him.
Championship effort.
And Clark now saddled with 4 fouls, so he has to be a little bit careful here in the final minute 18.
Ben Wasso's got to think about maybe taking a charge here. Get in front of him, take a big charge. Full court pressure by the Spy Ponders. Black will guard Lacue,
as he has pretty much all night, and has done a great job holding him to 8 points. McHugh with the spin move gets it down to Clark. Clark up strong. I think it was blocked by Bensley Joseph. Now the putback by Taylor. Count the basket. He'll go to the line with a chance for a 3-point play.
That was all started by Lacue Howard, who was able to dribble drive, get a shot inside, and then the big players of Brighton took over. That time it was Quincy Taylor finishing through contact. Up 4, chance to make it 5. Globe shot.
Around the rim and out. Rebound fought for. And I hope Ben didn't hit his head on that. I hope he's okay. It's going to be a held ball. Possession arrow, I believe, is favoring Arlington.
Yeah, they didn't win the tap.
Just make sure that Ben Wasco has not suffered a little bit of a head injury here. He's trying to walk away, which is smart if he's okay. Not let the officials really get a good look at him if he's a little woozy for a second or two.
So 105 down 4. It's not panic time. What you have to do is run your offense, get a good shot. If that is a three-pointer, let it fly with poise and conviction and confidence.
Token pressure by the Bengals. Final minute of overtime. Arlington down by 4.
McNamara's got to look to be an offensive threat.
Tough pass there. Here comes Bensley, and he's going to be fouled outside by Lacue Howard. Howard picks up his second, and that'll be a 1-on-1 for Bensley Joseph.
That's just fine for the Spy Ponders right there. Not much time ran off the clock. Now you're going to shoot.
Got to make them.
You're going to shoot free throws without this clock moving. So again, you can make these, and then it's no panic on the other end. Regular defensive set.
Bensley Joseph, 1-on-1. First free throw is
ice
good.
Water in Bensley's veins. He has struggled any place other than the free throw line tonight.
Just 1 field goal for Bensley, but 3 free throws for 6 points. Hits them both.
This is Don Black time now.
Howard goes right by him this time. Howard into the paint, dump pass to Taylor. Stolen by the Ponders. Bensley Joseph. He's going to try to go to the paint. Bensley Joseph blocked from behind, but McNamara gets the offensive rebound for the Ponders. Don Black for 3. No! Rebound McNamara. Timeout Arlington. Take it. Oh, and the ball's taken away by Brighton. They were in a little bit of trouble there, and Awasco commits the foul from behind.
Frenetic action for the Spy Ponders. They had multiple open looks from three-point range to get the lead. They're down 2. Don Black had 1. Bensley Joseph went to the rack and was deflected by Quincy Taylor. And now we have Johnny Ortiz at the line. He will shoot 2.
Double bonus for Ortiz. Now both teams will be in double bonus as Ponders well over the 10 foul limit for that, and Brighton with 9, so the next foul will be their 10th, and Arlington will be in the double bonus as well.
The key here is they have to box out and grab this rebound hard with 2 hands.
Well, the first one's not going to matter because he's shooting 2. Ortiz, first free throw, rolls around and out.
So 27 seconds, make or miss. They do not need a 3. They need the best available shot they can get in a fairly quick fashion.
Ortiz with 7 points in this ball game. And he calmly hits the second one. Big free throw there for Ortiz. Arlington down 3, 65-62, 24 seconds remaining in the game.
They've got to move the basketball.
Don Black It's going to be Wasco taking the three. No, Bensley Joseph high for the rebound. It's loose. McNamara, it's out of bounds off of Brendan McNamara. Coach Bowler claiming he was trying to call a timeout. I don't think Arlington ever really possessed it for him to get that timeout.
11 seconds left now. They need to try once for a steal. They should deny here, looking for a steal, and then an immediate foul. Try to maybe foul Ortiz. 3-point game.
11.8 seconds to go. They get the ball into Howard. It was deflected by Corrales, and now Corrales commits the foul.
Corrales was right there. That's the deflection you need. Just didn't work out. A lot of serendipity, a lot of unluckiness for the Spy Ponders in this game. They've had so many looks down the stretch here to either tie the game or take the lead. Maybe they can get a break here, and like Hugh Howard can miss one of these, two of these free throws, because they're going to have to come down the other end. It's going to have to be three-pointers.
Yep. Hugh Howard at the line for Brighton for double bonus. Defending state champion Brighton Bengals looking to move on, and the first free throw is no good.
So there's life for the Spy Ponders, but he's got to miss this one. 3-point game. Brendan McNamara has to be a threat to shoot on the offensive end.
Arlington has plenty of timeouts, so they should look to score quickly, take a timeout, and try to extend this game. Hugh Howard's second free throw is long. Rebound by Ben Wasco. Arlington needs a three. Here comes Bensley Joseph up the court. Bensley Joseph, pull up three, top of the key. Around the rim and out. Rebound fought for. Brighton comes up with it. Arlington takes the foul. The horn goes off. I think there's going to be a little bit of time left, but probably not enough for the miracle to be pulled off for the Ponders.
Can't ask for much more than that. One of your best players taking an open three to tie the ball game up. Unbelievable effort by the Spy Ponders. They're going to call this the game. No, they're not going to call this the game, so we're going to put a little bit of time back on the clock. Really, the Spy Ponders are kind of out of time right now. Maybe they can get one foul if they put a second or so left on the clock. Can't ask much. Personally, I can't ask much better than that. It's an open look. He rose up. It went in and out.
What a great shot. Hugh Howard missed two free throws to give Arlington a chance.
Yep.
They're putting 4/10 on the clock, which really is meaningless unless Arlington literally needs a miracle, like a steal and a three-pointer. So if I'm Brighton, you're just going to literally could just throw the ball off of an Arlington player.
Well, they're going to have Hugh Howard shooting, so they called a foul is what they did.
Oh, yeah. Correct.
Right. So Hugh Howard should really miss that. Well, he should actually try to hit one and miss the second.
Even so, Arlington would have to literally get the rebound and in one motion throw it the length of the floor if he were to miss two free throws. So, I mean, it's pretty much academic at this point, and just a tough way to end the season for the Spy Ponders. Bensley Joseph dribbled it right up the court, took the pull-up three right in the chin of the Brighton player, around the rim and out. I thought that was down. And
Don, how many looks did they get wide open to tie this game? And then they had the two looks to take the lead after Bensley Joseph almost dribbled coast to coast and tied it. The effort's been there, the execution's been there, just haven't been able to get the shots to go down.
First free throw is missed. And
theoretically, I mean, you can catch this ball and throw it. I've seen this happen, so
sure. Hugh Howard, he'd probably be better served to make this. He does. 4-point game, and Bensley Joseph will throw it up. He needed to get fouled if had any chance anyway, and it doesn't go, and that's the way this game will anticlimactically end. With the Brighton Bengals, the defending State 2 champions, will see their season move on. They will play the winner of the Marblehead North Andover game in a semifinal game. For the Spy Ponders, the season comes to a sad close as they gave the defending champions all they could take here at the Tozowski Gymnasium, but come up a little bit short.
It's a thrill of victory, the agony of defeat. The hardest thing for any team, and we see here with the Spy Ponders, is 1 second you're literally fighting for your dream of a state title, and then the next second the season is over. It's very traumatic for them to take. They fought with pride, poise, conviction, and tremendous effort all year long, and tonight they put themselves in a position to win the game a few times, tie the game certainly at the end. I'm very proud of them, how they've shown this year, and you got to tip your cap to the Brighton Bengals. They showed what the heart of a champion is. They battled all game long. They didn't quit. They kept coming at them and are worthy champions.
Final score here from the Kozlowski Gymnasium, Brighton 66, Arlington 62. Scott and I'll be back with a final thought.
You are watching ACMi Sports, where the community covers Arlington. Where would you rather be than right here and right now?
And we're back to wrap things up. And first of all, let's run down tonight's scoring leaders. First for Brighton, LaQ Howard had 8 points, Angelo Lee with 2, Quincy Taylor had 13, Johnny Ortiz had 8. Off the bench, Messiah Murkison was huge with 15 points. Leading scorer for Brighton was Jared Clark with 19. For the Spy Ponders, Nick Corrales had 5 points. Brendan McNamara had 8 points. Bensley Joseph had 7 points. Dom Black had 10 points. Leading the way offensively for the Spy Ponds tonight, Ben Wasco with 15, and James Gascoigne had a team-high 18 points. But, Scott, it seemed like the problem for the Arlington at the end here in the end of regulation and overtime was when Gascoigne picked up that 5th foul. Brighton was just too big for Arlington. They got too many second and third opportunities, and Arlington comes up a little bit short here tonight.
Came up a little bit short here tonight, Don. It's really tough for the seniors. You know, a great year for them. I thought that was really the turning point in the game. We really allowed them to dominate the glass a little bit. They got some inside baskets, but even still, they had shots, open shots, to both take the lead and tie the game up at the end. And I thought they fought valiantly and like champions. And you know, they lost to a very good team.
As good as James Gascoigne was, I'm going to speak for myself and give my player of the game vote to Ben Wasco. Ben had 5 first-half points. He then had 10 in the second half. He literally carried Arlington offensively for a little while there, and he was tremendous defensively. Even when James fouled out, he was the one last man standing as far as Arlington's big people. Arlington went really small and took a couple of charges, I think, as well, and just an outstanding game for Ben Wasco in his final game here as a senior tonight.
An unbelievable game, and even at the end, it's been hitting the deck twice to create a turnover to get them the ball, to give them a chance to win. He fought valiantly like a champion the whole entire game. Couldn't be more proud of him, and he really showed what Arlington basketball is all about.
I'd like to extend best wishes to Arlington's 4 graduating seniors. Adrian Black, who I think is pursuing a college soccer career. Of course, Dom Black will be playing at the next level next year in the college ranks, the Division III ranks. Ben Wasco graduates as well. Max McCursky, the 4th senior. So Arlington graduates 4 seniors. So cupboard's certainly not bare coming back next year, but this was a team that a lot of people thought could make a good run, and they just ran up against a tough, playing the division, the defending state champions in a second-round game is a tough out.
It's a real tough out. You know, sometimes the chips don't fall your way. In this case, the pulling out of a hat didn't quite fall your way. You got to play Brighton in the second round, and it's disappointing, especially for the seniors, because we're going to miss them, and they will be missed. But the future's bright for Arlington. The foundation has been set, and the players that will remain will continue to carry that torch like they have in the past. And I expect them to be right in the mix next year, maybe hoping to get over the hump.
I'd like to thank everybody from ACMi personally as I wrap up my 32nd season here at the top of the Kozlowski Gymnasium. I had Scott Zwick, Matt Rury, Steve DeCourcy, Rob Anthony as partners here this year. I want to thank ACMi from the top, Jeff Monroe, Kevin Wetmore, Alex Van Thong, and the rest of the students who came here on different nights, weeknights, weekend nights, gave up their time and volunteered to give you all these productions. So thank you very much to everybody from ACMi. Scott, a final thought?
A final thought is that I just couldn't have enjoyed working with you this year, Don, and ACMi as usual. I'm proud to be a part of it, and it was a great season, and I look forward to another one.
Thanks again. So sadly, the season ends for the Spy Ponders. Season continues for the Brighton Bengals as we wrap things up here for the 2017-2018 season. I'm Don Phelan. Once again, the final score, Brighton 66 and Arlington 62. Thanks for joining us all season.